Here are 10 empowering ways to develop self-discipline. Hi everybody, it's Tommy the Wellness Coach, and I have been helping people crush their wellness goals for over 20 years. And here are my top 10 tips to help you empower and develop your self-discipline. Number 1, no more bullying. It is hard to build self-discipline when you are listening to bullies, and that includes bullying yourself. The one thing that can throw us off track is when we have our own self-doubt, or if we have judgmental people around us. We tend to start doubting ourselves. And then we have this little person in our brain who tries to keep us safe and doesn't like change. So whenever you try to challenge yourself to do something different or try to improve something, it's going to help remind you of all the things that have never worked before. So when that bully starts talking in your head again, try to remove that self-talk into positive self-talk. Reminding yourself that you can do it, you can do tough things, that whatever choices you choose, you'll be able to make the best out of those choices. Silence those negative thoughts. Number 2, hold your head high. Several times, either growing up or even now raising your own children, society has taught us that, we don't want anybody to get a big head, a big ego. But through that, we've neglected acknowledging all of those small accomplishments. Take pride in who you are and who you are becoming, where you've been and where you've come now. Even if you're not where you want to be yet, have pride in knowing that you know where you want to go and you're taking the steps to achieve that. And then don't forget to reward yourself when you do the self-discipline needed to get where you want to go. Number 3, tell yourself when you're having those doubtful moments or you don't want to do what you're trying to discipline yourself to do, that it's not up for discussion. Don't let your mind entertain the thoughts of what would you be doing if you didn't have to do it. Let me just give you an example. Maybe it's brushing your teeth. In the morning, you jump out of bed and you automatically brush your teeth because your mind goes to, I'm going to have bad breath if I go to work, or I'm afraid of getting cavities. And those are some of the things that pop in our mind that help discipline us to brush our teeth on a regular basis. We don't entertain the other thoughts that I'd rather sleep in longer than brush my teeth. I'd rather do this than brush my teeth. It's already ingrained of all the reasons why we want to brush our teeth. The same thing comes with any other activity that you're trying to do, whether it's exercise or maybe you're trying to discipline yourself to do a project for school or for work. We need to program our mind all the reasons why we want to do that instead of all the reasons why we don't want to do that. Next, don't worry about what other people think. Sometimes it's hard to have self-discipline when you're doing something that others might think is out of character or not necessary because they're not on the same growth path as you. So you might constantly get questions every time you do something different. Why are you doing that? Why does this make a difference? And then you start doubting yourself or not wanting to do it next time to avoid those people or those questions or the way you might appear or seem. So here's a couple thoughts to help quench those thoughts. 1, are these people that you actually would want to trade lives with? If not, why are you even taking their considerations, their thoughts, their judgment into consideration for yourself? Anything can happen with them within a day or two. You might never hear from them again. They might not be part of your life anymore. The only person that you're going to be with from beginning to end is yourself. So why not focus on what you want to do for yourself, regardless of what other people think or feel? Next, take inventory on what you value the most. When you're trying to stay disciplined to accomplish a task, remind yourself of what that task is trying to accomplish, per se, where your goal, and that's what your value is. So let's say you're trying to get in more fruits and vegetables. Why are you trying to eat more fruits and vegetables? It might be because you're trying to have a better health. Remind yourself while you're trying to talk yourself into those good habits, I value good health. I accomplish behaviors that help encourage good health. Same thing with exercise. What are the reasons that you do want to exercise? What are the reasons you want to start being on time for different events? Is it stress management? Maybe it's I value having a calming and relaxing life, and repeat that throughout the day. And that's going to help encourage you to follow through on the tasks that help accomplish your goal. Next, set your environment up for success. Remove all temptations that tend to distract you away from what you want to accomplish, and include in your environment things that foster that type of atmosphere. So if there are let's say you're trying to eat a certain way and there are foods that tempt you, try to minimize those temptations by either removing those items or putting yourself in an environment where you're not triggered by all of those. Or maybe you're trying to move more, exercise more. Make sure that you have the equipment that you need, whether it's as simple as shoes, or maybe you have music ready to go and you need to be able to get more energy to move. Is it you're working on time management and being able to say no to certain tasks, or be able to only work on a certain amount of time on a task so that you have a breather, relaxation? Set alarms that will help create boundaries throughout your day, or help you schedule your day so that it doesn't get away from you. Next, try pairing the activity that you're trying to be disciplined to do with some other activity that you automatically do. Let's say you're trying to learn a new language. Maybe while you brush your teeth, which is a habit every day, maybe that's when you post certain words that you want to memorize in a different language or a sequence, and those are things that you run through your mind while you brush your teeth. Try to figure out ways, or maybe it's in the car, maybe you have a long commute. Maybe there are certain books or things that you can think of that you need to think through. That can be your thinking time, your quiet time that you have on projects. Maybe, let's say maybe you have, your goal is to connect more with people. Maybe you have commutes where you're not the driver. That's a perfect time to start to reconnect with people through text or giving them a phone call. Think of all the tasks that you want to get done throughout the day, and is there anything else that you can match it with that you currently already do? Next, do a little bit. Let's say that you're having a day where you are totally unmotivated, you're having a hard time disciplining yourself, and it's a pattern that maybe you recognize from before. Well, maybe break down that task that you want to do a little bit smaller, or maybe do something totally different just to start the momentum. So this is where many of you have probably read that a lot of times people just making the bed in the morning helps set the tone for the day. Or maybe it is being able to get up and shower. Some little task that would help you feel good and help build up your self-esteem, even if it's totally not related to what you value or trying to accomplish through the day. Do some little thing for yourself to help start the day off right. Next, it's time to celebrate. Don't forget to have reward systems for yourself. And when you think of rewards that you want to give yourself for accomplishing certain tasks and having that self-discipline, try to choose rewards that aren't going to set you back with your goal or diminish all the progress that you have made. So for example, if you are on a weight loss journey, try not to reward yourself with binge eating on food. Maybe it's just little pieces of food or some treats that you usually are trying to cut back on, and now you're just going to treat yourself because it's not a regular everyday thing that you used to do. And lastly, keep in check your sleep patterns and stress. So it's so important to get enough sleep, because that's also going to set your tone for the day and how you handle stressors throughout the day. It's great to build in habits. It's great to have motivation, but when we lack sleep and when we have stress, we start becoming more reactive to our environment. And when we become reactive and have that fight or flight response with stress, or having lack of sleep, or we just can't function, we tend to go to our instincts and older habits. So being able to prepare for any barriers coming up is going to help. And being able to get enough sleep is going to help, and being able to manage your stress will help you take control over the day so you can react towards those situations the way you want to, so that it doesn't sabotage your progress versus being reactive to the day and falling back into old habits, because they're habits. You don't have to think about them. And that's what we tend to do when we're stressed. Well, friends, I hope that was helpful. If you need any other assistance or help with this, please message below. I can definitely help. I also have a stress management course that I have available that I'll list down below. It really helps you identify and conquer stress. And there's lots of freebies that come with that. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Please share with anybody that you would think this would be helpful for. And I hope you have an amazing, blessed day. Bye, friends.